This fifth expression of Libra charm is quite a lot to do with how to balance and manage the ego. And the ego is not necessarily to be diminished, nor certainly is it to be exaggerated. And rather typically with Libra, we're trying to look for a balance in some form. And in this way, we're discussing the balance between surrendering of the ego and proclaiming of the ego. This is what this batch of 5 Sabian degrees seems to be about. And we begin with this first image of the 21st degree of Libra, with the crowd on the beach. The sense we have of a lot of people there, huge amount of people. Any individual, if you're looking for a person on a beach, you can't find them because they are part of the crowd. And when we are able to just surrender our self-importance to the point where we're just one of the many, a certain quality develops within us, which is rather beautiful. It's like modesty or even humility. It's relaxed. It's very easy. We're not trying to defend or proclaim or fight or make a claim on life. We're just one of the crowd. We're just doing what everyone else does. And there are times when that's exactly the right energy to bring forward. So we have to have the ability to turn off the ego. And in the 22nd degree of Libra, the child is giving a drink to a bird at a fountain. And here we have the selflessness principle shown itself through compassion in this case, offering someone what they need. The bird needs water, and you might find a beggar needs a coin, or a friend needs a helping hand. And if you're not too caught up in your own self-importance, then you can enjoy this wonderful relationship that develops when you're in service to the needs of another. Now, if we don't concentrate too much on the externals of that, and we just focus on the feeling, how that feels to be a crowd on a beach, to be giving to someone who needs giving, to receive something, then this feeling of humility starts to develop. And that has its own magic, its own power. However, the 23rd degree of Libra, the Chanticleer, the rooster, is all about the opposite principle. It is saying, I am. This is what I am. This is what I think. This is what I believe. This is what I read into the Times. These are my opinions, the very opposite. And it's worth just noticing that Libra, for all its reputation of peace-loving and so on, is rather contrary. And that's what balance requires. You don't reach balance unless you do the opposite of the trend. That's what balance is. Things are going one way, and to balance it, you do the contrary thing. And Libra can be very contrary indeed. And in this case, we have the rooster being rather contrary, saying, this is it. It's not the way you think it is. It's like this. And so you have the other side of the ego coming out now, the balancing of the compassion and the self-abnegation principle with self-proclamation. Now in Libra 24, the third wing on the left side of the butterfly, you'll see the reason for self-proclamation, in that this is a unique butterfly. The butterfly has mutated into something that has never existed before. We're celebrating the principle of uniqueness. And even though we're very, very similar to all of the others in the crowds on the beach, nevertheless, we're also perfectly unique. No one is exactly like us. And this is a bit of a paradox in life, a bit of a mystery in life, that we're one and the same as everyone, and yet we're also very unique. And so this 24th degree of Libra is celebrating that individuality. Moving us to the 25th degree of Libra, the information contained within the autumn leaf. The autumn leaf is, on the face of it, a symbol of death, the end of the cycle of life for that season. But if you look at it differently, it's the promise of future life, that you can compost it. And the leaf is not only a leaf, it is also compost, and it is also the sap rising, is it also the chlorophyll, it is all of those things. And this is true of a person. When you meet a person, you may find that they're strong in their ego, or weak in their ego, or clear of ego entirely. You might find they're at the beginning of their process of some kind, some chapter unfolding, or the end of that, or halfway in between. Whatever you come across in a person, they're in a different situation from what they were before, and from what they will be soon. And it is an exceptional person that can take that into account. And you do that in this balancing of the paradox. On the one hand, you lose yourself so you can tune in to the other person, very tactfully reading their situation and accepting it unjudgmentally. And then at the same moment almost, you declare yourself to be unique, therefore giving them permission and encouragement to express their own uniqueness. It's a complex game almost that we're playing, and it is the game of the development of glamour, charm. A charm is putting a spell onto the atmosphere in a situation. And the spell that we're casting here at the end of this study is to see somebody absolutely unjudgmentally. That's the charm that we're using here. And that's what Libra can do particularly well. They have no axe to grind, no particular angle. They're trying to just fit and be the oil in a social situation by just making sure that somebody doesn't go too far in a given direction. They kind of pull them back, but in a charming way. So for Libra to be capable of such contrariness as they have to have the equivalent level of grace. And we see this in this expression of Libra, charm. They have that ability to somehow vibrate between egolessness and proclamation of ego in some charming way. And that creates the extreme glamour and the gracefulness of their being, that they're neither one thing nor the other, and yet both at the same time. And this is quite something. And they bring a little sparkle to a situation that enables other people just to unfold and to express their own situation, their own way of being. I am this at this point in my cycle, and Libra saying, oh, I find that very interesting. That's lovely. I can relate to that. And this relationship, this ability to relate through the vibration, ego, knowing you, ego, knowing ego, ego, knowing you, the kind of vibration of Libra in this expression is what creates a sense of well-being and grace in a situation.